Hello. One of the most debated about topics in America today is about whether the Electoral College should be abolished or not. My name is Connor Denny, and today we'll be talking about this topic. Despite it being the way Americans vote for their presidents, many people still don't know how the Electoral College works. In my opinion, I believe the Electoral College should be abolished for a popular vote, because that allows for the fairest results and makes individuals feel like their vote counts. How the Electoral College works. The Electoral College is a system that calls for the creation every 4 years of a temporary group of electors, equal to the total number of representatives in Congress. Technically, it is these electors, and not the American people, who vote for the president. In modern elections, the first candidate to get 270 of the 538 total electoral votes wins the White House. The Electoral College was created as a compromise during the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia between large and small states. At the time, many people worried that the bigger states with bigger populations would dominate the election. So they made it to where each state votes in proportion to the number of its senators and House members. Issues of the Electoral College. One of the big issues with the Electoral College is the fact that it is severely outdated. It was created when America was at a completely different point in its history, and now that the country is much larger, many people would like to see a change to a popular vote style of election. Most of the time, the winner of the Electoral College is the majority vote winner as well. However, over the course of American history, we have had the minority in the popular vote win the Electoral College. There were some cases that happened a long time ago that most people don't talk about, but the first big case of the popular vote minority winning the Electoral College happened in the 2000 election between George W. Bush and Al Gore. In the 2000 election, current Vice President Al Gore won the popular vote and it looked like he was set to win. But later George W. Bush started to win some states, and the winner would be decided on who won Florida. After the votes were counted, George W. Bush became president by having 271 Electoral College votes to Al Gore's 266, becoming the closest presidential race of all time. This election led to the debate about whether the Electoral College is a good system to have, or if it should be abolished. This would happen again in the 2016 election, where Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but Donald Trump won the Electoral College and became president. Another issue with the Electoral College is since the electors for the Electoral College picked the candidate that won the majority in their state, then if you pick the other candidate, your vote essentially doesn't matter. Having a majority vote allows for everyone's vote to feel important, since your vote goes towards your candidate. Finally, studies over the years have shown that most people want the Electoral College to be abolished for a popular vote, but it has become a party issue, as about 72% of Democratic respondents and 30% of Republican respondents endorsed a direct popular vote. While there are many people who oppose the Electoral College and want a majority vote, there are others who want the Electoral College to stay. Some of the reasons why some people want the Electoral College to stay is that it is in the Constitution and shouldn't be changed, since that's what the Founding Fathers agreed upon, and that it would lead to having more candidates choose from, since there would be more third-party candidates emerging. The reason why these points don't change my mind about the Electoral College and why I believe it should change is that first, the Founding Fathers did agree to have an Electoral College, but only because they had to compromise with the smaller states, and those issues aren't a problem anymore, since the country is much bigger than it was when they created the Electoral College. Also, since America is a democratic voting system, then I see no problem with having more third-party candidates, because I believe people should vote for whoever they want to, whether they are independent, Democrat, or Republican. So with a majority vote election, we would have a fair election that no matter who wins, you can't argue that they were cheated since they won the majority. Overall, there are many questions about the Electoral College. and if it should be changed or not. In my opinion, I believe we should have a more fair and honest election if we change to a popular vote. That way, we would always have the person with the majority of the votes win the election, like a good democracy should do. Also, it will allow for people's vote and opinions to matter more, since their choice will actually count towards the candidate they voted for. While some people want the Electoral College to stay, since that is the Founding Fathers agreed to do, I believe it is time to change. In conclusion, I believe that people should be able to vote for anyone they want to and feel like their vote mattered. And the best way for that to happen would be for America to abolish the Electoral College and use the majority vote. Thank you for allowing me to take up your time.